Good afternoon, students. Welcome to the online class of Biology for Engineers. In today's class, we are starting the Unit 3, that is Genetics and Evolution. Genetics is the study of genes. Study of genes is genetics. Genes, we have seen, they are the basic unit of heredity. The information that is transmitted from one generation to the other generation, from parents to offsprings, is with the help of the genes. That is nothing but the study of genes is genetics. Genes will help in transmitting the characters from parents to offsprings. The heredity material that is helping in transmission of characters from one generation to another generation are the basic units called genes, and the study of genes is the genetics. In the genetics will be composed of chromosomes, DNA and RNA, the nucleic acids, the nitrogen bases, adenine, cytosine, guanine, thymine, which are present on the DNA. Full form of DNA is deoxyribose nucleic acids. The nitrogen bases will be combined to form the amino acids, and that will finally result in proteins, and proteins are mainly responsible for the living organisms to grow and live. So genetics, they provide the basic information, instructions necessary for all the living organisms to grow and live. Chromosomes we have also seen in the unit 1. In the structure of cell, eukaryotic and prokaryotic cell, inside the nucleus, the fine thread-like structures are the chromosomes. On the chromosomes, the thread-like structures are the chromosomes. Inside the chromosomes, we have the segments, basic units. Small segments present on the chromosome will be the genes, and the study of that genes present inside the cell nucleus. Inside the nucleus, chromosomes. On the chromosomes, the small basic units or the segments present on the chromosomes are nothing but the genes, which are helping in transmission of characters from the parents to the offsprings, are the main components of the genetics. So genetics will be involving with the genes, chromosomes, DNA, the nucleic acids, which is the main hereditary vehicles for transmission of characters from the parents to the offsprings. Coming to the evolution is the process, biological process that is taking place at the genome level of the organisms. In the genes, organisms' genes will undergo some changes. The genes which are present on the chromosome inside the nucleus is present inside the cell. Some changes will take place in the genome level of the organisms. So evolution is a slow and continuous process in a population. The irreversible changes taking place in a population in the organisms are nothing but the evolution. Example, we can take the color changes in the insects. Some insects will change their colors according to the environment in which they are living. to hide from the predators. The color changes that takes place inside the insects, and according to the environment they blend their color for protecting them from the predators so that they will survive well and they pass these genes to the future generations. Is the example of the biological evolution, the changes that takes place in a population over time. The organisms which are undergoing some irreversible changes according to the environment in which the organism is living to protect, to survive well in a environment is nothing but the evolution, the irreversible changes that occur in a population is the biological evolution. In the biological evolution, we have theories of evolution and evidences. Theories of evolution. Evolution is basic to understand the past and the past, how the life on earth shares a common ancestor, how it has started from a common ancestor, the life on earth. In these theories of evolution, we have the theories, that is the first theory, that is Lamarckism. Lamarck theory of inheritance of acquired characters was proposed by the scientist, that is Jean-Baptiste de Lamarck. He was a French scientist who proposed the theory of Lamarckism. This is the first theory of evolution. According to this theory, it says that the organisms acquire some changes according to the environment. The organism is acquiring some changes in the environment in its life. These changes will get transferred to the next generation. Lamarckism explains about inheritance of acquired characters. The organisms is acquiring some characters according to the environment in which they are living, and that characters will be getting transferred to the next generation. Lamarck theory can be explained in a better way by the following points, that is effect of the environment. Effect of the environment. The changes in the environment, the changes like temperature, light, availability of food will bring about some modifications in the organism's behavior. Some modifications will be taking place in the behavior of the organisms according to the environment in which they are living. These modifications will help them to adapt to the changed environment. Use and disuse of organ. Continuous use of organs can lead to the organ becoming efficient in its functioning. If the organ is not used, its disuse will reduce its size. We can take the example of vestigial organs. Vestigial organs, if they are vestigial organs are in disuse, we are not using that organ, some organs. When they are not used, the vestigial organs will be reduced in size and they will be disappearing. Ultimately they will be disappearing. So use and disuse of organs. If we are using the organs, then that organ will become efficient and functioning. If you are not using that organ will be disappearing in size and it will be becoming vestigial organs. Then inheritance of acquired characters. Characters once acquired will be passed to the next generation. Inheritance of acquired characters. The acquired characters, the organism which is acquiring the character during its lifetime will be passed to the next generation. So new characters which are added to every generation will get passed to the next generation. The modified characters are evolved. Inheritance of acquired characters. The characters, new characters will be passed to the next generation. Inherited, transferred to the next generation. Evidence in favor of Lamarckism. Next we have the evidences in favor of Lamarckism. The theory of Lamarckism can be explained by this evidences in favor of Lamarckism. Evolution of long neck in giraffe. Lamarck, he said that giraffes evolved from the deer-like ancestors. You can see in the diagram, he said that Lamarck said that giraffes were evolved from the deer-like ancestors in Africa, where the ground vegetation was not found originally, and they started to stretch their necks to reach leaves higher up to a tree. Then stretching extended, resulted in the increase in the length of the neck and forelimbs. So this is the acquired character in the long neck in giraffe, which is getting transmitted to the subsequent generation, to the next generation. This is what the evolution of long neck in giraffe is, the evidence in favor of Lamarckism. So he said that Lamarck said that giraffes evolved from the deer-like ancestors. Next we have the other. First evidence was the long neck in giraffe. Then the second evidence is invasion of duck and aquatic birds from land to water. The scarcity of food on land. When the food is scarce on land, the birds started to invade the water, started to enter the water. Then when entering the water, they need to stretch their toes for swimming in water. So they have developed the new trait, traits are nothing but the characters which are developed during the lifetime of the organisms to better adapt to the environment for survival or to get the food, such that they develop these characters and they started to invade the water. From land they started to invade in water, ducks and aquatic birds. Due to the scarcity of food or lack of ability to fly, the birds started to enter the water, invade water. So for entering the water, they need to stretch their toes for swimming in water. So this is the character or trait, new character they are developing to adapt to the environment. Eyes of the deep sea flatfishes. Deep sea fishes which are living at the bottom of the sea will be lying on one side of the body. The eyes that lie towards the bottom will come towards the upper side. So both the eyes will lie on the one side of the body. So this is the character which they are developing in the deep sea flatfishes. Then hind limbs of whales. The whales have lost their hind limbs due to its disuse. When they are not using the hind limbs, they have lost their hind limbs. This is the evidence in favor of Lamarckism. Long necks in wading birds. The shore birds, wading birds are nothing but the shoreline birds which we found on the mud flats, on the mud region of the shorelines. Shore birds, wading birds. Wading birds like flamingos, example you can take flamingos. They have long legs. They have evolved the long necks. Why? The stretching of these legs, why they have stretched their legs and long necks have evolved in the flamingos, the wading birds, to keep their bodies dry. Then loss of limbs in snakes. The modern snakes have lost their limbs due to its disuse. Then reduced eyes in moles. The vestigial eyes in moles, the rat-like animals. Moles will have the vestigial eyes is due to the reduction of the eyes in moles because of the disuse of the eyes in moles. Then we have the Neo-Lamarckism. Neo-Lamarckism theory, this was modified by the scientist Cope, Giard, Packard, Spencer and McBride as Neo-Lamarckism to make it acceptable. The inheritance of acquired characters. The organism which is acquiring the characters during its lifetime to adapt to the environment in which they are living, the characters which are adapted, the characters which are acquired, which are developed, which are adapted during its lifetime by the organisms are inherited, are transmitted from one generation to the other generation. This is about the concept of inheritance of acquired characters. Then we have theory of natural selection, Darwinism. This was explained by the scientist Charles Robert Darwin in his Theory of Natural Selection in his famous book, that is The Origin of Species. This theory was also supported by the Alfred Russel Wallace. Variations. Variation among the living organisms. The main features of Darwinism are the variation among the living organisms. The first is the variation among the living organisms. Variation is a natural phenomenon. Variation is nothing but here the differences that exist in size, shape, color, height, weight of the organisms. The differences in size, shape, color, behavior, height, weight is termed as the variation. Variation, the differences is taking place among the living organisms. We find so many changes between two human beings also. The changes between the two human beings. One of the human being will be fair, the other will be black in color. So the differences in the living organisms is nothing but the variations that is existing in the living organisms. Increase in the rate of multiplication. Increase in the rate of multiplication. Population will double in every year. If a population is getting doubled in 1 year, then it will become quadruple in the following year, or so on. So tendency to multiply or increase by the organisms. Organisms are multiplying or increasing its population. It is getting doubled in 1 year and it is getting quadruple in the following year, is the increase in the rate of multiplication. The population is getting increased by multiplying. Struggle for existence. The offsprings which is produced by the organisms or the species which are produced, the progeny which is produced by the organisms in a population is more due to multiplication. So there will be competition for food and shelter by different species. So such struggle for existence which is getting developed in the organisms for different resources like food, shelter, will be the resulting in struggle for existence. This will result in the struggle for resources that will lead to the death of the organisms within the species. In the struggle for existence to get the food and shelter, the resources, the species will be showing the competition for food. Then we have the differential survival. The survival of the fittest. The organism which is fit will be survived in an environment. The organism which is less fit will be eliminated from the environment. Then we have heritability of variations. Heritability is nothing but the characters or the traits which are passing from the one generation to the next generations. Heritable traits, heritable characters are passing from the parents to the offsprings. The successful variations are only passed from offsprings, from parents to the offsprings. So this is the heritability of variations. The heritable characters. The characters are passed from the parents to the offsprings. Only the successful characters or traits will be passed from the parents to the offsprings. The Darwin theory was also criticized due to some reasons. Darwinism, it explains only about the survival of the fittest, and it is not explaining about the arrival of the fittest. Darwinism explained about the survival of the fittest. The organism which is less fit are eliminated, and the organism which is having more special characters are surviving. This was said by the Darwin, but it did not explain about how the organisms are arrived. Darwinism, it did not explain about the mechanism of natural selection, how the nature is selecting the more fit individuals, more fit organisms, and how the nature is eliminating the less fit individuals, how it is helping in the survival of the fittest was explained, but the mechanism of the natural selection, how the organisms are selected by the nature, is not explained by the Darwinism. So this is the criticism of Darwinism. Then we have evidence of evolution. We have so many evidences of evolution from fossils. Fossils, you know, they are the remains of dead animals and plants. Remains of dead animals and plants are called fossils, and the study of the fossils we call it as paleontology. So evolution has taken place from simple to complex organisms in a gradual manner. The extinct forms were different. The extinct forms are nothing but the fossils. They were different from the present day organisms. So this is the evidence from fossils. Then we have Archaeopteryx. Archaeopteryx, we also call it as reptile bird. Archaeopteryx, it is the oldest known fossil. It is resembling the characters of both birds and dinosaurs. Archaeopteryx, it is having the characters of both birds and dinosaurs. So we call it as connecting link between reptiles and birds. These features prove that birds have evolved from animals like reptiles. Then we have evidence from comparative morphology and anatomy. Morphology is a study of external structure, and study of internal structure we call it as anatomy. Homologous and analogous organs. Analogous organs, homologous organs. Organs which are same in morphology and different in function are called homologous organs. Example, we can take the wings of bat and hands of man. The structure is same but function is different, are the homologous organs. In both the hands of man and wings of bat, the structure is same but they perform different function, are called as homologous organs. Structurally they are same but the function is different, are the homologous organs. Then analogous organs, organs that have same function but structure is different, are the analogous organs. Example, the wings of butterfly and wings of bird. Wings of butterfly and wings of birds both will have the same structure, same function, and the structure is different. Same function, different structure are called analogous organs. Then we have vestigial organs. Vestigial organs are functionless in the body. Tailbones of humans. Example, appendix, vermiform appendix is the vestigial structure in humans. Evidence from embryo. Embryo is developing from zygote. Zygote will result in a new offspring from the parent. So some homologous structure we can see only in the embryonic stages. Evidence from geographical distribution of organisms. Example of biogeographical evidences. Evidence, the proof in support of evolution is also coming from the biogeography. The different biogeographical regions like Antarctica, Oceania are the examples of the biogeographical evidences. So thank you students. In next class we'll continue with the unit 3, genetics and evolution. Next topic